My wife walked into the kitchen glowing, hands resting on her stomach, tears streaming down her face. "Jason, I have incredible news. We're pregnant with twins." The coffee mug slipped from my fingers and shattered across the tile, not because of joy, because of shock. 3 days earlier, I had been sitting across from Dr. Morrison, staring at test results that told a completely different story. "Mr. Hayes," she had said softly, "I'm sorry, but based on these results, you are sterile. You have been for at least 5 years. Natural conception is not possible." I had been getting tested in secret for months. We had been trying for 2 years without success. I assumed the problem was me. I was right, just not in the way I expected. So when Amanda stood there radiant, talking about twins growing inside her, my mind started calculating. The numbers didn't add up. 2 plus 2 refused to equal 4. I smiled. I hugged her. I said everything a husband was supposed to say. "That's incredible, honey. I'm so happy." But inside, one question drowned out everything else. If I can't have children, whose are they? If you want to know what I did next and what I discovered in her phone that explained everything, hit subscribe because this story gets darker before it makes sense. My name is Jason Hayes. I'm 38 years old and I work as a senior systems analyst for a tech company in Austin, Texas. I work from home 3 days a week. I earn good money. I drive a practical car. I cut my own grass on weekends. From the outside, it looks like the perfect life. A quiet suburban house, a beautiful wife, 2 dogs, the kind of picture people use in mortgage advertisements. My wife, Amanda, is 35. She works in marketing for a healthcare startup. Organized, ambitious, the type of person with a color-coded calendar and meals prepped every Sunday. We met 7 years ago at a friend's wedding, married 2 years later, bought our house after 3. For the last 2 years, we had been trying to have a baby. Trying is a polite word. Failing is more accurate. At first, it was exciting, spontaneous, hopeful. Then it became scheduled, mechanical. Ovulation trackers, basal thermometers, apps sending notifications like "high fertility window tonight is optimal." Romance disappeared somewhere between cycle day 14 and another negative test. Amanda became consumed by it. She cried when her period arrived, avoided baby showers, scrolled through pregnancy announcements like they were personal insults. "Why is it so easy for everyone else?" she would ask quietly. I never had an answer. I just held her and repeated what husbands always say: "It will happen. We just need time." But time erodes patience. Doubt grows quietly. 6 months ago, I began to suspect I might be the reason. Amanda had been tested. Everything was normal. Hormones balanced, ovulation consistent. That left me. I didn't tell her. I didn't want to add to her anxiety or confirm her worst fear. So I scheduled an appointment with a fertility specialist, Dr. Rebecca Morrison, at a clinic across town where no one would recognize me. The first visit covered history, lifestyle, examination. "We'll begin with a semen analysis," she said. "It's straightforward and gives us a baseline." A week later, I returned. She reviewed the results on her screen. Expression professional. "Mr. Hayes, your sperm count is very low." "How low?" "Severe oligospermia, under 5 million per milliliter. Normal is 15 million or more." My stomach dropped. What does that mean? Natural conception is extremely unlikely. Not impossible, but highly improbable. Can it be treated? She paused. "There are options, but I want additional testing. There may be an underlying cause." I left feeling hollow. Over the next 3 months, I underwent more tests than I could count. Blood panels, imaging, genetic analysis. I changed my diet, quit drinking, took supplements that smelled awful. Amanda noticed the healthier habits, but never asked why. She was focused on hope. I told myself I would share everything once I had answers, but the answers kept getting worse. The final appointment came in early November. Same room, same quiet walls, different finality. "Mr. Hayes, I'm going to be direct. Based on your results, you are functionally sterile." The word echoed in my head. Sterile. "Your sperm are non-viable," she continued. "Even with IVF, success would be nearly impossible." "How long has this been the case?" "Based on your hormone levels and imaging, at least 5 years."
5 years, our entire marriage. Natural conception is not possible, she said gently. I left in a fog. That night, Amanda was in the living room working. "Hey," she said, "how was your day?" "Fine," I answered. I didn't tell her. Fear kept me silent. 3 days later, she came home early. I was making coffee when she walked in. "Jason," her voice trembled. She held out a pregnancy test. 2 pink lines. "I'm pregnant," she whispered. My world tilted. She laughed through tears. "I took 3 tests. They're all positive." My mind refused to process what my eyes saw. "Natural conception is not possible," Dr. Morrison's voice repeated in memory. Amanda's smile wavered. "Say something." I forced happiness onto my face. "That's amazing." She hugged me tightly. "After 2 years, I thought it would never happen." I hugged her back, numb. That night, I lay awake beside her, mind racing through impossible scenarios. Maybe the doctor was wrong. Maybe the tests were flawed. But I knew the truth, which left only one explanation. The child wasn't mine. The next morning, she scheduled an appointment with her OB/GYN. "When's the appointment?" I asked. "Friday. Will you come?" "Of course."
The moment she left, I called Dr. Morrison. "I need to see you today." She saw me during lunch. "My wife is pregnant," I told her. "Is there any possibility I could be the father?" She reviewed my file carefully. "No," she said. "If she is pregnant, the biological father is someone else." I left with confirmation I didn't want. I didn't confront Amanda. Not yet. I needed undeniable proof. Her appointment was Friday. The ultrasound revealed 2 tiny shapes and 2 heartbeats. "Twins," the technician said. Amanda cried with joy. 8 weeks along. 8 weeks. I counted backward. 8 weeks earlier, I had been out of town for work. I smiled and held her hand. But inside, I knew the truth. And that night, Amanda fell asleep early, exhausted from the appointment. I waited until her breathing was steady. Then I did something I never thought I'd do. I grabbed her phone. She didn't have a passcode. She'd always said we had nothing to hide. Funny how that works. I opened her messages, scrolled past the usual, her mom, her friends, work chats. Then I saw a name I didn't recognize. Tyler. I opened the thread. The messages went back months. At first, they were innocent, work stuff, casual. Then they shifted. "I can't stop thinking about last night. When can I see you again?" "He's traveling this week. Come over." I scrolled faster, my heart pounding. Then I found it. A message from 2 months ago. "I'm late. I think I might be pregnant." Tyler's response. "Are you sure?" "I took a test. It's positive." "What are you going to do?" "I'll tell Jason it's his. He'll never know." I set the phone down carefully, like it might explode. My hands were shaking. My chest was tight. She'd planned this. She'd known the baby wasn't mine, and she was going to let me raise it, them, as my own. I didn't sleep. I sat in the living room, staring at nothing, trying to figure out what to do. Part of me wanted to wake her up, to scream, to throw the phone at her and watch her try to explain. But another part, the part that had been conditioned by 2 years of trying, 2 years of her tears and hope, wanted to believe there was some explanation, some way this wasn't what it looked like. By morning, I'd made a decision. I wasn't going to confront her. Not yet. I was going to let her think she'd won. And then I was going to take everything. Over the next 2 weeks, I played the excited husband. I went to every appointment. I bought baby books. I started looking at cribs online. Amanda glowed. She talked about names, nursery colors, double strollers. And every night while she slept, I gathered evidence. I screenshotted every message. I downloaded her texts to a cloud account she didn't know about. I called a lawyer. Not just any lawyer. Patricia Chen, the same attorney who'd helped my friend through a brutal divorce. "I need to protect myself," I told her. "Tell me everything," she said. I did. When I finished, she leaned back in her chair. "This is a lot. Can you help me?" "Yes, but you need to be smart. Don't tip your hand. Let her think everything's fine. And then we hit her with everything at once. Infidelity, fraud, paternity. We make sure she doesn't get a dime." The plan was simple. Wait until after the twins were born. Let her name me as the father on the birth certificates, then request a paternity test. When it came back negative, I'd file for divorce, annulment, and fraud. She'd lose everything.
The house, the savings, any claim to my income, and I'd walk away clean. It was cold, calculated, but after reading those messages, after seeing how easily she'd lied, I didn't feel guilty. I felt clear. 4 months into the pregnancy, Amanda started getting suspicious. "You've been distant," she said one night. "I'm just stressed about work," I lied. "Are you sure that's all?" "Yeah, why?" She studied my face. "I don't know. You just seem different." I kissed her forehead. "I'm fine, just a lot on my mind." She didn't push it, but I could tell she was watching me more closely. At 6 months, she threw a gender reveal party. Her friends came, her family, even Tyler. I shook his hand, smiled, played the proud father-to-be. He didn't know I knew. Amanda didn't know I knew. They thought they were so clever, but I was 3 steps ahead. The twins were born in late June. 2 boys, healthy, perfect. Amanda cried. Her family cried. Everyone celebrated. I held them. I smiled for the photos, and I signed the birth certificates. Father, Jason Hayes. Patricia had told me to do it. "It'll make the fraud case stronger," she'd said. So I did. I signed my name, knowing full well those babies weren't mine, and I waited. 2 weeks after they were born, I told Amanda I wanted to do a paternity test, just for peace of mind, I said. You know, from medical records, family history. Her face went pale. "Why would we need that?" "It's standard," I lied. "My insurance covers it." "Jason, that's ridiculous." "Is it?" She stared at me. "You don't trust me." "I didn't say that. You're implying it." I kept my voice calm. "Amanda, if there's nothing to hide, then there's no reason not to do it." She opened her mouth, closed it. "Fine," she said finally, "if it'll make you feel better." The results came back a week later. Probability of paternity, 0%. I stared at the paper for a long time. Then I called Patricia. "It's time." I didn't tell Amanda right away. I let her settle into the routine. Late-night feedings, diaper changes, the exhausting blur of newborn twins. She was tired, vulnerable, perfect. One evening after she'd finally gotten both boys to sleep, I sat down across from her. "We need to talk." She looked up, wary. "About what?" I slid the paternity test across the table. She stared at it. Her face went white. "Jason, don't," I said quietly. "Don't lie to me anymore." Her hands shook. "I can explain." "Can you?" I pulled out my phone, opened the screenshots. "Explain this."
I showed her the messages, every single one. Her face crumpled. "Jason, please." "How long?" I asked. "How long were you planning to let me raise another man's children?" She started crying. "I didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. And you lied. You looked me in the eye every single day and lied. I was scared of, what, the truth?" She sobbed. "I didn't want to lose you." "You already did." And I filed for divorce the next day. Annulment based on fraud, infidelity, paternity fraud. Patricia made sure it was airtight. Amanda tried to fight it. Her lawyer argued that I'd signed the birth certificates, that I'd accepted paternity. Patricia countered with the messages, the timeline, the fertility records. The judge wasn't sympathetic. Mrs. Hayes knowingly deceived her husband about the paternity of the children. That constitutes fraud. Amanda got the twins. I got everything else. The house, the savings, my freedom. She moved in with Tyler. Last I heard, he's struggling to support 3 people on a teacher's salary. Funny how that works. I sold the house. Too many memories. Bought a condo downtown, started over. I don't hate Amanda. I don't even think about her most days. But I learned something important. Trust isn't about believing someone. It's about knowing when to verify. If you've ever been lied to, if you've ever had someone try to trap you with a secret, if you've ever had to choose between your heart and your head, this one's for you. Comment verified if this hit home. Hit subscribe for more stories about the truth that hides in plain sight, because sometimes the most dangerous lies are the ones wrapped in